Welcome to the third video in our championship series of 6 videos, 12 games. This will feature games 5 and 6. If you've been following from the start, you will know that the championship race is now hotting up. Newcastle have just taken the lead at the top of the league table after their cunning victory in game 4, in which they drew them onto their own northeastern patch and lay an ambush for them. So that's the teams there, and we move on to the league table so you can see the state of play here. Leeds have been a little bit unfortunate, it has to be said, but all to play for still. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, and we shall commence the game number 5 very, very shortly, but I just thought I'd give you a little bit of time to take this in. And in game number 5, the leaders will certainly be watching each other like hawks. They won't want any of them to get the bonus points for getting diametrically across the board, so there may be a little bit of sabotage involved, particularly Liverpool and Belfast, who are actually adjacent to each other on the board. So here we go, game number 5. So Manchester to kick off from the 10 o'clock position in Imperial purple and gold. Here they go, and let's see what happens in this one. Edinburgh have forsaken the chance of teaming up with Newcastle, for example, so that's going to leave somebody else out on their own, and it's Birmingham at the end of round 1, last to go. So they're just finishing off, and we're into round 2. Here we come, snaking across the board now. We'll see what Liverpool and Belfast can do in their attempts to get down to the bottom end of the course here. Newcastle are going straight across from right to left, Birmingham from left to right. Those are the leaders on the league table at the moment. And where have Liverpool got to? Where have they gone? Well, nobody's heading down here, that is for certain. So Cardiff and Bristol have snaked just round in a big loop and come back to Bristol. And if oh heck, yeah, it's the only one open at the moment, and Glasgow are going to waltz in with no competition at all. So they've got the 10 bonus points, and all to play for now in the race to get the win on the game. So we shall see. So with no other destination open, Glasgow had absolutely no competition in diametric dash this time. Newcastle still haven't got over to Birmingham. They're still second in the queue over there. Liverpool and Belfast seem to have very successfully marked each other out of the game. There's nothing coming down this way at all. Such is the tactics that are employed in this game. It's quite astonishing. Anyway, now there's some movement. There's a new round of road building. Glasgow have got over there to Newcastle. Bristol and Cardiff have finally got their last trucks out, which is good for them. There's a long queue heading down this way around the back of London to get to Sheffield. Newcastle at the back of that one. I think I'm right in saying, yeah, I can see a truck that they've got stuck under a flyover. So that's them out of contention for the win this time. So it's just getting a little bit clogged up now and getting ready towards another round of road building. Cardiff are going up there towards, where's that? That is Edinburgh. So another round of road building, bringing the convoys towards their destinations. Newcastle are coming this way, but they've got another one. That's 2 trucks heading for Leeds, so they've got one too many trucks now heading for Sheffield. They're going to have to do something about that. Don't know what they're going to do. They might leave this one at the back of this convoy at the bottom of the picture there to hang. Meanwhile, the leaderboard is up, and you can throw a blanket over all the teams. There's only 2 points in between the lot of them. Manchester on 9 now, first one to hit 9. Bristol and Cardiff are heading over the back there towards Belfast, and if they can get across that gap there, no, they've stopped. So who's going to win this? It's going to be, it looks like it's going to be, oh yeah, at the top there, it's Edinburgh. So the Scots have cleaned up on game 5. How about that one? Well, that was a fairly breathless finale. Difficult to tell exactly when to stop it to do our usual analysis, so we'll just pull it back a few frames and have a look at the important points in the last few seconds of this race. Here we see Bristol at the top there, just one road space away from claiming victory, having got the other 11 trucks all in. Very unfortunate. They've got Cardiff in tow up there. Here we see Liverpool and London herring across the board in opposite directions. Liverpool are heading to Sheffield. London, I think, are trying to follow Bristol and Cardiff there into Belfast. Manchester and Birmingham again, they've got two trucks pulled over at the top there. They're in completely the wrong place. Their trucks should be in Cardiff and Sheffield for Manchester and in Cardiff for Birmingham. What else have we got here? We've got Newcastle. There's a stranded truck under the flyover. There's another one been pulled up just out of shot where I've arrowed around the back there so that they could get the other truck from the opposite direction to Sheffield. We're hearing that Leeds and Sheffield have launched a protest. You see their trucks there at the back of that queue on the flyover. They were obstructed from turning left at that point to head into Belfast. This complaint will be upheld. They will be handed that result back in. They will be allowed to claim a Belfast destination. So that leads us on to... That was a rule instituted for game number 2 to avoid clog-ups such as these. That leads us to Edinburgh, the winners. They are handily placed on the right-hand side of the board, but look at the top left. That is the last one of their trucks in. That is the one that claimed the victory. And here we go. Keep an eye on that one. It's just looping round there to go into Liverpool. And hey presto, the win is called. There it goes. Past the stranded trucks. And victory is theirs. So here's the result of game 5. Edinburgh's win. Glasgow with a nice tidy haul of 21 points with the bonus points accrued. Leeds and Sheffield have their positions restored to joint second place after that objection was upheld. And now we move on to the league table. And Belfast have leapfrogged Newcastle and opened up a bit of clear water, so they'll be more than happy with that result. Newcastle caught a bit of a cold in that game. I think a bit of tribute should be paid to Liverpool, who are averaging nearly 11 points, a second place finish, in other words, in every single game so far. So without winning the bonus points, 54 points. Absolutely fantastic piece of work. So I hope you'll join us for game 6 in a few seconds' time. Well, I'm sure you know what the teams look like now, but just a quick punctuation before we move on to game number 6. And Liverpool will be kicking off from the 11 o'clock position in yellow, and away we go. So they're on the way now. Let's see what... Newcastle have decided not to team up with Leeds. They're going to go the other way, and they're going to join up with Glasgow and Edinburgh in round 2 in order to maximise their road building. With 3 it's always quicker to get across the board. First thing to be decided, of course, will be the diametric dash, the 10 bonus points to see which team will get across to the opposite destination first. Cardiff and Birmingham have created for themselves what is in effect a roundabout in the middle of the course there. That may have the effect of having 1 or 2 teams having more than one truck too many out, but they won't be penalised for that because they didn't know what Birmingham and Cardiff were going to do. So Birmingham are at the moment going over that loopy flyover on the top right there to try to get to Newcastle. Liverpool are heading to Sheffield. Oh, bit of daylight there. Sorry about that. I must stop doing that. Light flickers. So now we're away, and it's going to be Leeds. It's going to be Leeds. They've got into Manchester first, straight across the board. 10 bonus points for them. Very well done. They will welcome that, I'm sure, being near the foot of the table. So things starting to happen now. The Newcastle destination has been opened up. Now, am I right in thinking that Liverpool have gone the wrong way? Yeah, they have. They sent a truck too many. They should have turned right. They should have joined that queue that's still on the bridge. Yeah, he's realised his mistake now. That's crazy. Oh, and now the leaderboard's up and running. There's quite a big gap between the leaders and the back markers here. 8 down to 2. Crikey. Oh, there's a little circle in the foreground here. And I suspect that's London digging themselves out of a hole there, a potential stranded truck. And they've gone round in a big circle and got themselves out of trouble there. That's quite cannily done from them. We've come to the end of a road building session now, the end of a round. London just the last truck in the middle there. So another round of road building now to... So we now need to slow this down and take a pause. I can't get over that London truck. Where on earth did he get to? It's long gone. Incredible. Anyway, we're going to slow this down because I think there are some points of interest here. So we'll take a break and have a look at the situation as it is now. Well, I was quite fascinated to see where that London truck had gone that had gone round in a circle. And there he is on the right-hand side, just heading into Leeds now. Incredible stuff. Moving on, there's an enclave at the top of the board that has only Liverpool, Belfast, Glasgow and Edinburgh in it so far. You'll see that, and only now are the other teams approaching it from the only two possible directions. London at the head of one convoy, Leeds at the head of the other. Also, there's a very canny move by Belfast, who've just jumped out of the Cardiff queue and put their lead truck into the London queue, and that really throws the gauntlet down. These queues now heading into, where are we? Edinburgh, Belfast and Cardiff. These queues need not concern us. They will clear very, very quickly. So we can move on now to the teams that are completely out of contention, which we'll do in a second. First up will be Liverpool, who've got a truck trapped under that little three-way flyover in the middle there. They've also got that one that went the wrong direction. Now he's just... heaven knows what he's up to. What else we've got? Cardiff here. Valiant attempt to get back to Cardiff. Not going to make it. They're a couple of spaces short, so they're out of contention. You've got these at the bottom right here. Leeds, Sheffield, and Newcastle, Glasgow. You've got this bunch in the middle here who are frantically trying to make up time on existing roads so they can feasibly get to the destinations concerned. You've got Newcastle as well at the top there, just going into Liverpool. Where are we now? What else have we got? Now we're moving on to the leading contenders. Now, this is fascinating. We have London, 16 places approximately into Glasgow, 9 into London. It's the 16 that we're interested in. Bristol, 14 into Glasgow. They're a couple of places ahead of London. Those are, close but not quite close enough. Manchester only 13 into Belfast. They will turn left at the top there. This assumes that Manchester will just fill the roads into London. Birmingham 13 into Glasgow, 11 into London, bottom left. A decent challenge here. 13 into London. They're already in Belfast. They're already in Glasgow. These are serious contenders. So 13 road spaces estimated to get to their results, and that puts Manchester, Birmingham and Belfast in a three-way tie, providing Manchester do what we think they'll do and go straight into London. It becomes a lottery, but they can, and let's see what they do, they can avoid that. They can take this completely out of everybody's control. So all eyes now on Manchester and their last bit of road building for this round, and let's see what they do. Are they going to go straight in and leave it to chance, or are they going to take all the chance out of it? And it's a filibuster. They've dawdled. They've meandered round in a snaking little route. They're not getting into London in this round. That means that everybody else will clear. And that means that Manchester have taken this game by the scruff of the neck. They've got everybody else there by the throat. And they can just sit and wait patiently for these last stragglers to come into their destinations and wait for the last bit of road building, which will take them into London. And hey presto, 12 points for Manchester. Just a triumphal procession, really. Here they go. Brilliant. So we're just going to scroll it back to where we were before. And at that point, Belfast, Manchester and Birmingham had equal chance of getting first to their last destinations. However, that assumed that Manchester were going to build straight into London, but Manchester decided not to build into London. They decided they were going to meander, play out that particular round of road building. So it went into another round of road building. Liverpool sat theirs out because they got nothing to do and nowhere to go, and that handed the win to Manchester because Belfast decided to finish the game off and build into London the last few places. Perfectly happy with 11 points, bearing in mind their nearest rivals, Liverpool and Newcastle, both had 2 trucks out at the end of play. So Manchester get the win. Belfast get a handy 11 points along with a few others. And we'll just have a look at the result of the game and the league table, see how it affects the standings. And that will be the end of the video, and we'll move on to Game 7 in a new video shortly. So here's the result of game number 6, adjusted for merit. Bristol given second place for being pretty much right behind Manchester on the run-in with their final truck. And here's the league table. Belfast have opened up a 10-point gap now on Newcastle. So they're looking pretty handy. They do know how to play this game, but there's only a 13-point gap between 3rd and 10th place. So all to play for as we move into the second half of the season. Hope you'll join us for that. See you soon.